Greetings, this is Edge from Edge Plays. So, I did promise in a little tiny YouTube short that I had a couple of videos for this weekend. And one of the ones that I got briefly asked about by N7K was what game would you start with the Trail series? And the reason why I'm kind of dipping my hat into the ring a little bit is because she's just started up Cold Steel 1, and it was a game that I'd recommended to her. And obviously I've not played all of them yet, but I've played most of them. And so, for such a really good RPG series, the main thing that I think there was a big question, of the whole narrating plot, which one can you start with? And from what I read into it, and especially from other people's comments and opinions, it does vary. So let's see how quickly I get my foot in my mouth. So the Trail series of games is a long-running series, and it first started out on the PSP with Trails in the Sky, the first chapter. Now people may be a bit confused because they've had a new one just released back in September, a remake of the first Trails in the Sky. So you might be wondering, should I play that one first? Well, and this might surprise some of you. I think it doesn't matter too much as long as you start the beginning of one of the story arcs. So my entry into the Cold Steel series was Trail series was Cold Steel 1, or when it came out re-released on the PlayStation 4, and I played through all of that before thinking about going back to play through any of the other ones, like Trails, the Crossbell, or the Burl arc stories, which is Trail in the Sky and Trails through Azure and Zero. Now, the interesting thing about why I'm saying this is, so each story arc focuses on one particular nation in the continent of Zemuria. I'm going to do a couple of videos, I think, just to kind of explain the thought process on which one is a little bit. Because I know Kate mentioned, like, oh, I'm playing for the first one, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's a bit hard, like, which ones do I play next? If you start with Cold Steel series, which is the Urbonia arc, there is technically 5 games. I have a list behind me on the screen. That is not the full list, because there are other games that you may want to play. For example, I haven't put on here Trails into Reverie, because I think you should play at least all of the Cold Steel games before going into Reverie. Currently I'm playing through Trails Through Daybreak 2. I have not put 2 on the list here because ideally you kind of want to play 1 first. But I would say you can't go wrong with Cold Steel 1, Trails into Daybreak 1, Trails into the Sky remake, because the second chapter is being released, I think, this coming 2026. Or the Crossbell one, which is Trails into Azure Zero. I always get confused which one's which, but the Crossbell only has 2 games. Now, the reason for that is the very first game in a new story arc has a bit of a slow burn, but it does kind of give you the context and references to the previous games. So, you're not missing out, per se. For example, there are several characters that have made pop-ups from the older games, and all it makes me want to do is go back and play those eventually to get some more context, and I don't think I've missed out. I haven't played Trails in the Sky fully properly yet, purely because it's a bit of a rough one, because I was going through all these current games, and I've only just caught up, ready for Trails Over the Horizons, coming out in January. But in terms of the stories, I would recommend any of the first ones in the stories. Cold Steel is the Urbonia arc, which is what N7K is doing. I am now in the Calvard story arc at the moment, which is Urbonia's big rival. You can't go wrong starting on the first of one of the main ones. If you're going to say to me next web video, but which one from these story arcs, I will go in a little bit more in depth. If anything, if you're not started it yet, there is no harm probably starting Trails in the Sky remake, because the second chapter is coming out next year. The crossbell, the crossbell ones are on console and PC now. The third arc, which is the Cold Steel ones, which has a bit of a mix, is the biggest of the storylines with 4 games, and then technically a 5th one with Reverie, which kind of closes off all the story arcs for the first half. Daybreak has a lot of quality of life, which is quite nice, and a really good combat system. So again, and also a kind of a really good character base with the cast of characters. But yeah, I would be very biased if I said Cold Steel, due to Valamar. Spoilers there. So yeah, hopefully that's given you a bit of context. If you want me to kind of go a little bit into the history of Zemuria, or answer, like, for example, what is the guild of bracers and so forth, or the Erebonian, like War of the Lions, that kind of stuff, let me know on the bottom, because I like to share this game franchise. I love it. It's been it's one of those ones I've been playing now for a few years, and if anyone wants to know more, I'm happy to kind of try my hat and kind of giving a bit of information. And if I'm doing anything wrong, by the way, please let me in the bottom, because I haven't done lore or anything like that before. So yeah, peace out.